Welcome to the Roosevelt School District Volunteer Training. First, we want to sincerely thank you for your interest in volunteering with us. Volunteers play a vital role in the success of our schools, and we truly depend on your contributions to enrich the educational experience for our students. A huge thank you for your willingness to support our schools. Volunteers are not paid staff members. However, they are expected to consistently follow Roosevelt School District's approved policies, rules, procedures, and volunteer guidelines. If you are interested in being compensated for your time, please feel free to review the Roosevelt School District's jobs website and apply for any positions that may interest you. Our volunteers are important and valued members of the school team. We always welcome their suggestions and opinions. However, volunteers work under the direct supervision of staff members and administrators. Final decisions about student welfare and teaching are made by the school administration and staff. This video provides an overview of Roosevelt School District volunteer roles and responsibility. You are expected to read the volunteer guidelines to ensure you fully understand them. During this training, we will review important information about volunteer guidelines, safety procedures, and other helpful policies. After completing this course, please fill out the volunteer training form, where you will sign to confirm that you have completed required steps to volunteer and agree to follow Roosevelt School District policies, rules, procedures, the volunteer guidelines, and the expectations outlined in this video. Volunteers must enter the building through the main entrance, sign in at the school's front office, and present a government-issued photo ID each time they volunteer. Your ID will be entered into the system and screened against the National Sex Offender Registry to help ensure the safety of students and everyone on campus. If no matches are found, you will be cleared to volunteer that day. You will receive a name tag. Please wear your name tag at all times while volunteering and remain in the presence of and under the supervision of a staff member whenever you are working with students. As a new face in the building, staff members may initiate conversations or ask you to identify yourself. Please be open to speaking with them as they get to know you and the work you're doing. If volunteers plan to visit a classroom, it is recommended they coordinate with the teacher or school's office staff at least one day in advance to avoid any scheduling conflicts. Visitors who are not listed as a parent or a guardian must receive permission from the school principal before entering campus. Here are some additional expectations and guidelines for volunteers. Be professional. Volunteers are expected to act professionally by maintaining respectful, positive, and supportive interactions with students, staff, and fellow volunteers. Always model positive behavior, including kindness and appropriate language. Volunteers should also follow the school's dress code and conduct policies. Arrive on time. Please honor your commitments by arriving on time for scheduled activities. If you are unable to volunteer as planned, notify the appropriate contact as early as possible. For field trips, volunteers are expected to stay with their assigned group for the entire duration of the activity. If you need to leave early, inform the trip coordinator in advance. Be responsible. Always supervise students in your care, ensuring they are safe and engaged in school or field trip related activities. Set a positive example. Consistently model respectful behavior, kindness, and appropriate language. Your actions help reinforce a positive learning environment. Stay visible and communicate. Always volunteer in open, visible areas and avoid situations where your actions could be misinterpreted. On field trips, maintain regular communication with the lead teacher or school staff. If you need assistance or observe any concern, report them to a staff member immediately. Conduct and behavior. Respect students. Treat all students with kindness and respect. Set clear boundaries to help students understand expectations and maintain a positive learning environment. Discipline. Volunteers should never use physical discipline. If a student is misbehaving or a situation becomes difficult to manage, notify the teacher or school staff member immediately. Physical contact. Limit physical contact with students. If physical support is necessary, for example, helping a student cross the street, do so only when appropriate, and always act in a professional and respectable manner. No phones or social media. While volunteering, avoid using your personal phone except in emergencies. Do not take or share photos of students on social media without prior consent from the school or the student's parent or guardian. Safety guidelines. Student safety and supervision. Always ensure that all students are accounted for. If you are volunteering on a field trip, it is especially important to keep track of students' whereabouts, particularly in large groups or unfamiliar settings. Groups and pairing. Make sure students stay in their assigned groups or pairs and follow the school's instructions at all times during field trips. Emergency procedures. Familiarize yourself with the school's emergency procedures, including fire drills, first aid response, and location of exits and first aid kits. Head counts. When volunteering on a field trip, conduct regular head counts of your assigned group, especially when transitioning between locations to ensure all students are present. Confidentiality. Respect privacy. Respect the privacy of students and staff. Any personal information shared, such as student behavior, medical conditions, or other sensitive details, must be kept confidential and should not be discussed outside of school staff. No photography. Do not take any photos of students unless explicitly permitted by the school and only for school-approved purposes. Avoid photographing students in situations where they may feel uncomfortable or without prior consent. Prohibited behavior and conduct. Drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. The use of drugs, alcohol, or tobacco is strictly prohibited at any school-sponsored event or trip. Unapproved guests. Do not bring family members or friends with you unless specifically authorized by the school. Only approved volunteers are allowed to participate. Unprofessional conduct. Any behavior that is unprofessional, inappropriate, or that puts students at risk will not be tolerated and may result in removal from future volunteer opportunities. Weapons. The possession of any weapon, look-alike weapon, firearm, or imitation firearm is strictly prohibited on school property, school buses, or at any school-related or school-sponsored event. Prohibited items may include, but are not limited to, knives, pocket knives, mace, and guns. Volunteers must immediately report any weapons or look-alike weapons to a school administrator. Volunteers may not provide curriculum or teaching plans, discipline students, take charge of classrooms at any time, access students' permanent records, for example, psychological records, grades, or health histories. Diagnose student needs. Evaluate student achievement, including grading any student work. Provide counseling to students. Discuss student progress with anyone. Safety, health, and emergency procedures. It is important that volunteers become familiar with the rules and policies of the school where they volunteer. If you are unsure about emergency policies, including fire drills, ask the front office or administrative staff for guidance. Use reasonable judgment when making decisions. If a policy is unclear or hasn't been communicated, consult with the school's administrative staff for direction. Emergency preparedness. Special situations, including health-related emergencies, may arise during your volunteer time. Volunteers should familiarize themselves with the school's emergency response procedures for drills and real emergencies. Emergency guidelines are available in a flip chart located in the front office of every school. If you have a disability that may require special assistance during an emergency, please inform the school principal or another appropriate administrator in advance. Health and safety boundaries. Volunteers should not administer medication, render first aid, clean up blood or any other bodily fluids. If you are inadvertently exposed to blood or bodily fluids, notify a school staff member immediately and report to the school nurse for appropriate follow-up. Roosevelt School District is a vibrant and supportive community that takes pride in celebrating and uplifting our students. One of the most meaningful ways to show students that they are valued is by calling them by name. A student's name holds significance. Please make every effort to pronounce and spell it correctly. If you are unsure, don't hesitate to ask or listen to how staff members say it. Positive and encouraging words can have a powerful impact, especially when a student is facing challenges. Use verbal encouragement to show students that you care and believe in their success. As a reminder, physical contact should be limited to appropriate gestures, such as handshakes or high fives when interacting with students. Roosevelt School District employees and volunteers are required by state law and the Board of Education to report any suspected cases of child abuse, sexual abuse, or neglect to the Department of Child Safety. If you suspect that a child is being abused or neglected and would like to report it, please speak with the social worker to assist you in completing the DCS report. Lastly, Roosevelt School District reserves the right to end the volunteer relationship with any individual at any time. Volunteers may be asked to refrain from volunteering during certain times, such as testing periods. Thank you for your dedication and for being a valued advocate of our work. We truly appreciate the positive impact you will have on students of Roosevelt School District.